Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Loki Season 2 review. I am the green theme, Travis Dale, and I'm joined by...
I am the son of Vorin, Kirkland Patzer.
I'm the ATV, Taylor Field.
Oh, yeah, I've been waiting. It's a Meyer spoiler, but I've been waiting 5 weeks. Fucking green theme has been nowhere. And I know Meyer spoilers, but just end credit that... It's back. I remember just being up at 1 a.m. in the summer, butt-ass naked, that thing, him be like,
In front of the TV.
Loki, yeah! Like, I was like this...
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
Oh, it was the best. And that's what I got to do tonight. And then we got some big stuff to talk about. As usual, head down links and everything you need to know is down below. But most importantly, when you're listening to this, tomorrow is the 24-hour stream. I got to fix my camera. I look like I'm fucking on Davy Jones' locker right now. Oh, me hearty. But tomorrow is the 24-hour stream. You want to check that out. We have Dodgeball. We got movie trip. Are you okay, Taylor? Are you trying to do that math?
It's like, this is why I need these thumbnails.
Yeah, Taylor. Well, that's what I think about it. You know, I don't know. Did you have a good day at least?
Tomorrow's Friday.
When
we're
will
gonna
the
get 'em.
podcasters be listening to this, Taylor?
They're listening to it right now.
Okay,
This isn't going
YouTube
live till
people,
1 a.m.
it's 2 days. Yeah. YouTube people, it's in 2 days. But most likely, our biggest audience are the podcast listeners. November 4th is the actual live charity stream. 24 hours. We're staying up for 10 a.m. PST. Yeah, Emily, you see all this shit I got to put up with? My God, I need to leave this thing. Just start.
Holy God, what are you showing me? Come on.
What the fuck are you eating while I'm doing plugs, huh? What are you eating?
They don't know I'm eating.
What? They just
They
saw
do
you
now.
eat.
No, the
They do
listeners.
now.
The listeners.
What?
The
They do
podcast.
now.
What do I do
The
now?
thumbnail's gonna be you going.
It's pumpkin
Make
pie,
a-
homemade Davidson Orchard's pumpkins with.
What the fuck
vanilla
did you
ice
do
cream.
to it in there? Okay, it's ice cream. Like, why is it all white?
Got real excited.
Oh,
Fucking
pumpkin
pie.
Oh, I'm gonna pie. November 4th, 10 a.m. PST starts that 24-hour extra live stream. We're trying to raise $2,500 towards the BC Children's Hospital. All the proceeds go there. So whether you donate, whether you buy the Barbie shirt, which is only on sale for a couple more days till November, 6th or 5th, whatever it is, then it will be gone forever. So you want to do that. We're doing tons of stuff. Dodgeball, movie trivia, poker, a gaming tournament, dirty charades. We're revealing our movie title trailer and poster. Don't look on Twitter. There's some leaks out there. Don't look at Twitter. I don't know who S-Bubs knows and whatnot, but there's some stuff out there. Wait until Sunday, get that the full reveal. Or if we hit our goal early, we'll just put everything out there and you'll get to see it. Other fundraiser things we're doing. If we hit, which also we got to buy some, Taylor. If we hit $500, we talked about this last year actually. Like me and Taylor are going to do a tortilla fight. I don't know what that is, but one time we saw The Rock and Kevin Hart slapping each other with shells. Said we'll do that for extra life
Be
next year.
laughing.
And that's what we're going to do. I don't know if the rules like whoever breaks it, so we got to do that. At $1,000, we are going to karaoke and do the Ken version of the Push song. We're going to sing it loud. Dylan's going to hate every second of it, but we're going to do that with the crew. I hope it happens with everybody. At 15,
When's the scuttlebutt? When's the scuttlebutt?
the scuttlebutt, that's 4 a.m. I had this idea of waiting till you fell asleep and then hitting you with the scuttle. We should do the
I would
scuttlebutt
wake.
for sure.
I would arise like
Yeah.
freaking Jason Voorhees.
Dylan's gonna sell us shares after the stream. The scuttlebutt, Ken's versus Push. If we get to 1,500, it is unknown. Depends on the time. It'll either be that stream or in the future, the Hunka Hunka Boys will be returning to GeekVerse to let us know their thoughts on just everything that's been going on in the comic book world. I'm sure they'd love to talk about this past year at DC, so I'm sure they're frothing at the mouth. At $2,000, we will do the puppet cast, which means all of us will get a puppet, and for a newscast, it won't be us. It'll just be us controlling a puppet as we talk. That's been something we talk about for a while, so if we hit that $2,000, we will do a puppet newscast episode. And finally, at 25, if we get our full goal, yes, I'll go see The Beekeeper, and we'll review that. Thank you, Clay. And we will wax something on our bodies. Taylor is too scared to wax today.
Starting with the taint.
Yeah, full. I'm fine doing my legs. I'm not scared. I know Taylor. Like, oh my
probably
god,
have
How
no
much hair do you have on your
legs,
legs?
though.
Yeah. There's nothing there. There's nothing.
Like a baby's bottom.
There's nothing
Oh,
there.
no.
There's nothing.
He glued Emily's hair on there or something.
Glue Emily's hair on there. There's all tons of hair going on right there.
Your cock's
Oh,
out.
he's getting the cock shot. Come on, this is a family show.
It's gonna cancel right there. But no, we will. There you go. We will be waxing something, legs, backs, whatever it will be. That one, as I said on Trash Told You to go check out that episode. We will do that as long as
Green theme.
Hang on, yeah. We will do that as long as we have time. If we like hit our goal like 10 minutes before we end, we might not have the waxing stuff on us, probably not. So we'd have to put to another episode. But unlock all that stuff. Help us out. It's a good time. Tune in at any point. The replays will be there. And if you can't donate, that's completely fine. Just share the link, spread it, come watch it. We would really appreciate any help, because if you hit a like, if you're watching it, that helps in algorithms, that helps pushes it. Maybe people that can donate. Or people that maybe they can donate.
They can.
I would hope so.
They can, and they will. If they can, maybe they'll see and go, "Oh, I like these guys waxing themselves. I'll give them $5 or whatever." Maybe they like our singing town. So that's what we're doing. I know people, get the Loki review. This is more important. I don't care. This is helping families and children's in need. So go do that. Kirk and Patzer, you were not here last week, so give us your quick thoughts on last week, and then your non-spoiler thoughts for this week.
Yeah, it was a bummer I had to miss it, but I really, really liked the episode. I listened to your guys' review as well, and some really interesting takes that I feel like I definitely was not thinking about, but some fun theories you guys were discussing, and it's definitely like planted a seed in my mind with just certain characters, maybe motivations or their goals or where they might end up, and I really liked that conversation. So it was a fun episode you guys did, and I didn't align, I don't think, with anyone fully, but it sounded like you guys were also had some good discussions on just where your thoughts were. I was definitely more on the positive side of the episode, though. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, major shock. I started the episode last week, and then I realized I didn't finish it, so I rewatched the whole episode on Tuesday. So I'm really glad that I had that maybe shorter time span between these two episodes, because it was a major cliffhanger, and here we are again, and this week with another like cliffhanger. I mean, I feel like it's kind of warranted, knowing that next week is a finale. It'd be probably be a bummer if if it didn't have like a big lead into next week's episode. And just transitioning my thoughts into this week's episode, holy shit, man, this is top 3 best Loki episodes of all time right here for me. I started the episode, I'm like, this is easily top 5 episodes, or my favorite Loki episodes. But as it's going on, I'm like, holy shit, this might be the best. But then also, like, it's been a while since I've seen season 1, so I don't want to just right away say that it is the best, because there is some fire in last season. But favorite episode of the season so far. This episode had so many high points for me. I feel like to recognize the moments that maybe weren't like, or let me rephrase that. This episode was so high for me that like there was a slight dip in it, and it wasn't even like a con on the episode. It was just like, this isn't quite at the same caliber that it's been at for the rest of, I don't even know what the runtime was for it, because it just zoomed by for me. I love this episode. I feel like, yeah, they definitely focused on maybe a certain protagonist of ours, but I still think there was some really great interactions amongst other characters in this one. And yeah, no, visually it looked beautiful. It hit in the emotional side as well as we're getting ready for the finale here. And I think just this paired with last week's episode, they are different, but I still think that this is a really, really strong latter half of Loki season 2. And overall, I just love the season so far. Very, very impressed. I'm really glad that I am vibing with it as much as I am, just because I love that season 1 so much. And I mean, you know, next week's episode finale, they could definitely drop the ball in multiple ways, but I'm pretty impressed that they were able to keep it to the certain caliber, at least in my opinion there. So yeah, I'll pass the baton there, but holy shit, this was awesome. And yeah, to get the green theme back, that was super hype. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just like, I'm jazzed right now, and I love having this feeling, especially coming off of Secret Invasion. We're just like deflated talking about these episodes. It's such a different just such a different
MCU's back, baby.
Yeah.
It's back again. Oh yeah, by the way, Taylor, I think next week Kirkland's coming to your place too, so we'll talk about that off air. But
bunk beds.
Is he? I was
for
just
Loki,
trolling.
Sleeping over all week.
Are you coming to the Grand Tent?
After the 24-hour theme stream, just
Shay's
hanging
kicking me
out.
out. I need someone to crash. Taylor, please.
Yeah. She just saw you rock hard to the green theme, just pump your chest, and she's like, "That's it.
Butt-ass naked watching the episode.
We're done." Yeah, it's not even midnight. It's 7 p.m. in the night.
You knew I was bringing people over.
Bum, 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 bum. He did it. Taylor, Phil, what do you think about this episode?
This episode is just fantastic. It just every week they one up themselves again and again and again. And I was laughing, I was shocked, I was just feeling the emotions at certain parts.
Act that all out. Not 24-hour laugh.
It's just such a damn good show. This for me has easily surpassed season 1, and I just love everything they're doing. I feel like
that's a hot take. I won't go that far. I can't follow you down that path.
Said easily.
Yeah, he's
easily.
like Loki season 1's a piece of shit. Like it's Secret Invasion or like the last episode of Moon Knight or something. Like
I feel like Owen Wilson, he's a wonderful actor, and I feel like I've always been able to kind of meme on him before. But just in this show, I feel like he's just been delivering some top tier quality acting that I've not seen from him before. And maybe I'll just watch the wrong things with him in there. But
have you ever watched like a Midnight in Paris?
Midnight in Paris,
Never
no.
heard of that.
No, yeah. I feel like you've probably not seen anything dramatic Owen Wilson has done. So
He's pretty dramatic in Meet the Parents, and
no, he's not. That's not a drama. That is not a drama. And even then, that's not one to name. Like he's not dramatic in there. He's like the kind of
Cars
comedic
3,
asshole.
very dramatic. in Cars
Oh
3.
my
Travis
god.
never even seen Cars 3, so he can't even.
I
comment
haven't.
either.
Yeah, maybe it's this big fucking thing.
Big
But
drama.
I'm gonna guess that's not the case in Cars 3.
But yeah, he's just really bringing me to tears. I love his performance in this show. It's really, really wonderful.
Are you telling me you're watching this and crying?
Just like how he was in Cars 3.
Yeah. You're crying in the show?
I'm not crying, but I'm
Yeah.
getting tears. Tears and crying are very different things. Crying
No.
is like and like
well
tears.
enough.
You
I was
can
well
have
enough
tears.
in
Tears can come down your eyes a little bit. You know.
So did tears come down your eye?
I had one watery eye.
You just
cutting
get
onions.
lint in your eye.
He was cutting
yeah.
onions. Yeah.
Oh, Owen Wilson. Oh shit, I'm gonna cry.
Holy shit!
Holy shit, I'm gonna cry.
Oh my goodness, Blue and his profile. I love the commitment to that.
What?
The guy in the
Oh,
chat.
oh,
Hi.
I didn't see the comment. I was still in the private chat, so I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Hi, just done watching the episode. I seriously think it's the best one yet. Come from Twitter, by the way. Very nice, Blue. Nice to meet you. I'm seeing the chat, but yeah.
Game,
What?
yeah,
No,
come.
he come from Twitter.
Come for Twitter.
It
got
looked
that
like an
cum
O
on the
from back
mind.
here. Because I
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
Twitter. All right, you done, Taylor?
Yeah, I'm done.
Nice to see you, Blue. Subscribe. Send in any questions you want here, Newscast.
Extra Life.
You know. Yeah, Extra Life. Be there. Keep us up for 24 hours. Yeah, no, I thought it was a great episode. I don't know if I can go like top 3 or 5, but it's still just great. There's tons of great Loki episodes. That's where it's tough to space apart, but I'm all it's going to come down to the finale. But I think Loki is very much settling to me the best season of any Disney Plus shows, season 1, and then to me the second best will be Loki season 2. You know, I think they're like sitting in that pretty comfortably, unless something just goes off the fucking rails next week. But I understand, because we were talking about this with somebody in our Discord, like they kind of thought it was a waste. There's some elements we did here. To me, the two things are, one, end in a hype way, and that's always a good thing, but it ended in like a wow, very interesting, where are we gonna go? Another thing is there's lots of things we talked about last week that we didn't really want them to do or thought could be kind of cheap, and it's supposedly seeing that they didn't do that, aren't going that route. So that's another check off of going, okay, great. And then 3, the big thing is character development. Loki is going through almost every episode, he goes through something, but in here, on the surface, it might just be like, oh yeah, this is very, very simple. What are we doing here? But to me, it's showing that more so, again, we got a little bit of Loki season 1, but Loki season 1 was more about Sylvie. He was starting to make some right choices. We are literally seeing the ascension of Loki, the hero. Loki who could be on the Avengers, whether it's good or bad, whether it's some selfish choices, we're starting to see him care about things he's never cared before. Or in the MCU timeline, it took 18 movies to get him there. It's like, oh, he finally cares about somebody, right? This is remember, this is a guy that's like a month removed from Avengers 2012. He just invaded New York. So it's like a lot of things have happened. This is more villainous Loki turning around. So yeah, I thought they did a great job. I'm very, very, very curious where the
We gotta turn up the chat for you.
You know,
Distractor.
Blue, thank you very much for the $1 super chat. He said, that's my last dollar. Sir, ma'am, or they, if it is your last dollar, you don't have to donate that to us. You know, you can keep your last dollar. Just give us a like. But
We're not giving it back. We're not giving it back.
Send us a question. We'll answer any question. But no, to me, I thought this was great, and I'm very excited and curious for next week. And I'm very excited and curious for the future of the MCU. Not to be hyperbolic, but just I think with what they introduce here, you go, man, this could be a game changer. And some people are like, oh, with Disney Plus shows, we don't know if they are. Loki season 1 set that precedent, right? Because it introduced Kang, and Kang's obviously been a big part of the MCU. So Loki is a place where they go, okay, we're going to do this. So yeah, I was happy all around with the episode. Excited for next week, but also sad it's over. This is a show where it's like I could take 2 more episodes. You know, like there's even some more things I could dive into where I guess I can always do the MCU stuff, but usually it's like I just need 2 more episodes for better.
Can't. Don't
What-
say that. It's
no,
two
but
episodes Secret Invasion.
Okay, not that, but well, I mean, in the sense we're always like, oh, the finale's so rushed, right?
Oh,
but I
okay,
feel
I
like
see what
I
you're
would
saying.
take the more episodes, just like, can you explain some of this? Give some time. This is just like a pure quality thing of like, this is so
Yeah.
good. I want more. And even though some people are like, oh, well, it's 6 and it's perfect. Do you want to leave it? It's like, well, yeah, I guess, but I just have faith that luckily they could deliver in multiple things. So, yeah, is there anything else non-spoilers we want to get into?
Nope.
Going once, going twice. Sold to the lady with the blue gloves. We will be right back into spoilers after this ad break. And we're back. So where do we want to start here? Where do we want to go?
Like all things in the beginning. No,
Oh,
I don't know.
God damn it.
I don't know. I really don't
How
know.
about
where-
How about
Yeah,
that
there you
post
go.
credits scene? I'm just kidding. There's no post credits scene.
All right, end of the review. Good episode.
See you Saturday.
You got rid of him.
Yeah.
You got rid of him.
Here, we'll
That's so
start this
savage.
blue. What's your favorite moment from the show? Like
From this episode, or just the show?
or the season? If it's the show overall, it's still I think
Sylvie Loki.
well, yeah, I love that. Even though I feel like it's tough because I know we talked about this, and I just listened to Marvel Lines because I was behind. They talked about this too. It's like there's certain people that push back on the Loki Sylvie thing because it's like, oh, is it incest or whatnot? I do feel like this season they've definitely pulled that back. I will say there was a conversation in this episode. I was waiting for him to say like he's talking about all the things that matter to him, and I was waiting for him to say you when he's talking Loki to
Well,
Sylvie.
it
I'm
says
like, oh,
this, right? Which I kind of took it that way, but then it's like a little bit blanket.
yeah, like I thought there'd be a bit more. So I feel like they're kind of walked back from that a little bit. I don't know. So it's tough. I hope they bring that back. I don't think she's going to die now next week. I did think that originally, but I feel like that would be a con for me that I thought we were going to get more time with Loki and Sylvie, then she die. I don't think we've had enough time with her to die again.
Yeah.
And I would like them to get back to the point of them being in love. Like I know even if you might walk it back, it's like, well, you already did it, and they didn't fall out of love. They just because something happened that caused them. But I think for me, the peak of the show is still the finale of last year because that whole scene with Kang and it's just a conversation and the face off with the 2 Lokis. Like that to me is still the peak, but there's lots of great moments. But I'd say the ending of season 1 still because that's like tippy top MCU stuff as well. That's when we got Jonathan Majors and all the stuff. And remember that was the confirmation of Kang's in the show and like it was lots of cool things. I know right now if he gets recast or they go to Doctor Doom, maybe it'll be lesser than, but at the moment and still now, the finale of Loki season 1 for me.
I feel like mine is. I mean, it's such a cheesy answer, but it's just like seeing the development of Loki overall. So it's like it's not really
whole
a
show. I love
pinpoint
it.
moment. Yeah, I feel like right now it is still that finale of season 1.
Yeah.
He did clarify by saying, or sorry, they Blue, don't know who you are, but what's your favorite moment from this episode? He
Yeah, there you go.
clarified. So, in this
Broad
episode, it's so tough because like I feel like there's just so many high moments. I loved all the Obi stuff or whatever his different name was. Like it's so hard. I just love the episode so much. It's just a big shiny big thumbs up for me. But Taylor, if you want to answer your favorite Loki moment, just season 1 or 2.
Probably when you cried, right? It's probably it.
Oh yeah,
This
when I
episode
cutting that onion just fucking gets me.
when he was on the Sea-Doo finally. after all
Yeah.
these years.
I'm gonna stick with the episode.
Well, that's what they asked, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kirkland baited me. He's like season 1 or 2.
I did ask him that.
Yeah.
Travis
Yeah.
just is like, that's not a good question.
There's a reason we
Ask
don't.
this question.
Yeah, there's a reason we don't do Weekly Geek anymore. Kirkland can't host. We don't trust him. No, when the strike's over, it'll come back. Calm down, people.
I would probably say, like, this was just a fantastic episode, but I'd probably go when they teamed up with Sylvie and I can't remember her name, but she had her own like Minutemen. They were like nuking the timelines, and like the score kicked in. It was just coming in like to the wire, and they arrived and like took down the operation. Like that episode was just like crazy. That was crazy good.
What episode is that? I don't remember.
I think it was
Episode 2.
4. It was 2. Oh, that
Of
was
this
early
season?
on. Yeah, fuck. I
Yeah,
thought it
they
was
find
4.
Sylvie in 2.
Oh yeah, that was
Okay.
like 4.
I
We just
thought it was
watched
season
4
4.
last week. Oh my god.
I think it was like
Jesus, man. Baby brain over there.
the one where Victor Timely
I
dies.
think it was episode 5. I think it was 5. I think it was tonight. Okay, so I want to talk, but let's start. We're not going to start at the beginning. We're going to start at the very end because that's the thing that I'm
yeah.
most curious about. Is so we get all the timelines. I think this is like the closest. It's not the same impact, but it had a similar Infinity War aspect where something's happening and we're losing a bunch of characters. Everything they're getting. I would just say like
They don't
time
feel so
split.
good.
No, they don't feel so good. So
Spaghettified. That's what it seemed like, right? They turned into spaghetti.
that's what it seemed like. I thought you were gonna say that's what they said. I'm like, I don't remember Loki. They're spaghettifying. Obi, help me. So, anyways, they're getting spaghettified, and all the timelines are dying, like we kind of talked about in the past. And I guess that's just what happened at the end of episode 4. Was that's what we're talking about? That we're like, oh, multiverse and stuff. I guess it sent people back to where they were, but then it's also killing them off and pruning the branches and stuff. So. Even Sylvie goes, it's like, man, Jesus, I thought she was gonna be like immune or something. We still don't know why she didn't lose her memories like the rest of them, but
She had the TemPad, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
she would have been the
maybe.
only person that actually had one. I again, like, I don't think it's a strong, like,
but after
Do you
that
think
explosion, she was
bounced?
just
That
like, yeah, like,
explosion
oh,
hit, she's
cool.
out. Yeah.
yeah, like maybe I don't know because we
Yeah.
don't see her disappear, right? It's just from Loki's face cam, and then he turns around, and she's gone. She's like, "Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, I can go back to McDonald's."
I would have liked a little more clarification on that because it's just like, yeah, I'm here because I understood to a point because it's like, well, if she went back to her natural timeline, it should be on Asgard, right? Because that wasn't her natural home timeline,
Yeah.
like McDonald's. But either way, and then we get this realization because the whole episode, Loki's talking with Obi about, hey, what's the cause of this? How can we fix this with the time splitting everything? And now it's not so much like a body dysmorphia. It is obviously it's painful, but it's something Loki has honed or is beginning to hone. And now, like, obviously he's a god, and we don't need this like with Gaia. Don't give me Gaia again, too, but. but
Gaia.
that's gonna be 5 a.m. in the charity stream too. Gaia. But anyways, he has gotten like a godlike power. This is a man that he's just figured out that it's not where or when, it's who. And I guess it's that and who knows how this is gonna fit with their time travel rules, etc. But now Loki has figured out that he can control these powers, and where he can travel to are the people he has connections with, which fits with the theme of this season, right? Of Loki bonding with people. They talk about these are his friends in this episode. So it's like, oh, look, Loki bonding with people, making connections. That's why he can time travel, because like he has these people that he can gleam onto in a way of like a hopeful way. So to me, it's like, I know he's already God, but that is like a God tier power of like, does that mean Loki can now just time travel without
Well,
a temp?
see,
Like,
And like
I don't know.
this is where you guys were talking. I can't remember which one you brought it up.
Episode 4.
Last in that review, you guys were. I think it was you, Travis, actually talking about how Loki
course.
might be like the new He Who Remains, and
Yeah.
I'm like 100% in on that theory now. Of just
Yeah.
like he's literally the only one that was remaining in TVA when it just like
Mm-hmm.
popped off like that. It makes so much sense that he's able to like he is a tempad essentially, right? Like even Obi says that it's like.
it's a Valentine's Day card.
You're a tempad to me. But like
Compress
it
my
just
buttons
seems
on a
like he's going that route, especially all of his motivations for like why, like I know at the end he does say that it's really his friends that he wants to hold on to, not just the TVA or what the TVA is, but I feel like it's also what the TVA has brought him, like this just total flip. Like it is easy to forget that this is 1 month out from Loki invading New York, and like this is like peak villainy, and now a month later he's a fucking Care Bear and just like super happy with his friends and just a complete 180 on that character. And I think this is going to be, I think that totally is going to be his result. And fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know if that makes him a little bit more like distance from maybe once we get to an Avengers type team up thing. Cause like if you just have, like it's basically he's got the time stone, right? Like he can just kind of go back and fix whatever. But is this
That's where I
also
worry.
something that's just kind of stuck to the TVA's realm of
Yeah, is he gonna become like a Red Skull and Volmir, where it's like you bump? No, not like that. You're not flowing. No, the
I'm cursed
son.
to protect the timeline,
Yeah.
but I can never interact with it.
Yeah, but like that's where I wonder. I hope it's not that. I hope it's something that he is. I am on the full bandwagon with this whole repurposing. Like I know there was a stat today, like the viewership of Loki is 39% down. It's like most of the shows are right now, like Star Wars, Marvel. It's like they're having a tough time. But I think with the popularity and still Loki, I am on the bandwagon that they should be rerouting plans to make sure he, to me, is on the main Avengers team or the Secret Wars multiverse team. Like I feel like he has a place here, and I feel like what you can do is just make his power kind of a conduit to maybe how characters travel or do things, not try to make it so god tier. Maybe make a king out there that can limit it. But I could see him to be like a Red Skull figure where like, oh, we gotta get to the end of time or something like that. And then when you get there, it's Loki and lots of characters know him. Thor knows him, so there's tons of things you can do there.
Yeah, that'd
Blue
be
asked,
crazy. That'd be a mind fuck moment in the theater.
It'd be a great moment. And Blue says, isn't there a Loki from the cause? It's called the God of Stories Loki. There is. I think there's that. And I think there's another one, too, that is literally in control of the multiverse or looks after it. So, yeah, I think it almost like what Blue's bringing up there, too. I'm very curious that he says it's about the Who. And I do feel like whether it is this episode or in the future, that has to me, insinuate that that's how he gets back to Thor, right? The only question is, like, how do you get back to Thor? Because if you get back to, I'm assuming, I don't really know though.
Why is that though? Why is he the Who? Like, what's your?
Well, because he can travel to people he has connections with, right? And he's a bond with Thor, so that would be someone he could travel back to a touch point and do something with, right? That's my theory of like if he figure out on this episode, oh, it's not him traveling through time; it's traveling through time based on the connection he has with his brother and even I guess his mom and his
Is that just because that's like his biggest, I don't know, wishy-washy relationship his entire life is his relationship with Thor, that he like loves him but hates him at the same time?
No, I just mean like that's a plot device to get them back together. It's just because Loki and Thor are connected, he can I still think they could use Loki as what they did in Infinity War with Hulk, that Loki's the guy that warns everybody about Kang, and that's how he gets there. Is technically this Loki could be from the future. Let's say this Loki we're following right now ends up in like 2200. He can travel all the way back to like 2025 and tell Thor like, hey, I'm from the future, something really bad's gonna happen, trust me. Because I don't think at first I thought he's limited to going back to like only times he's been in, but I think he can go anywhere as long as the people that are there he's connected to, right? Because he didn't live in the Mobius time and he didn't live where, so I think he can go in their timelines.
I took it that way, that he has to have some sort of like their temporal aura. I think that's what they called it. Mm-hmm. It's got to have a link there. Because otherwise, it is just like, I mean, he is a god. I was going to say a god-like power, but it's just beyond that. It's game.
It's another god. Yeah. It's mega god.
It's hacks. That's what it is.
Taylor, what do you think? You haven't spoken about. What do you think about these powers? Do you think this leads to, some Thor stuff, whether it's finale in the future, and two, just what do you think like they're going to do with this said power?
It'd be interesting to see how Thor could come back into the fold here, because is he gonna go back to Thor in his own timeline and like he just appear there like, Thor, I've get ready, like he's coming, he remains. Thor's gonna be like, oh, you gotta go into jail, Loki, you fucked up New York, we're taking you in. Like it could be that kind of a scenario,
especially if it's in like that dumb Thor era. I feel like there's a certain Thor that just
I think they would have him come to him post
Endgame.
Loki, because Loki knows he dies, right? So I feel like the best way to shock Thor into believing him is coming after Endgame. And the rumors going around right now is that they are not going to go with Taika for Thor 5. They're going to go somewhere else. So I think they're going to try and bring Thor down a little bit. I think they're going to use like, oh, because he's a father now, that'll mature him. That's I think the story device is going to be. So I think when he bumps into Thor again, I don't think it's going to be Thor Love and Thunder doing the splits Thor. I think he'll be a bit more serious again. I think hopefully the perfect balance is like Infinity War Thor, where he's comedic, but he's, you know,
Korg dies in the first 5 minutes of Thor 5.
They kill. They do what Taika did to Warriors 3. They just do that to all his cast members. Valkyrie, Korg, everybody just gone from Kang. You know, so
And then a time skip. They don't even like linger on their deaths. Or
Yeah.
anything.
Regarding the powers, though, it's crazy to think that he has that capability. It fits, like you already mentioned this, Kirkland, but it fits with just He Who Remains is wanting him to take over his position, right? So I think that's
Great theory I had last week.
Kirkland gave me credit for it, and I will say originally that I don't know if it was other people. Like I will always say, I think the podcast wise, Valga had as a factor fiction. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. And I think now they're definitely from episode 1. It's like, okay, they're setting this up because every chance he gets, he's like, well, maybe He Who Remains had an idea. Like he will never not remind Sylvie that He Who Remains might have been right. And I get why
You
she's
killed
annoyed.
him. Look,
Yeah,
now we're
yeah.
here.
No
Thanks,
wonder why
Sylvie.
she's not putting out for this fucking loser. Yeah, you got us here. You fucked us up.
I really like him being able to actually use these powers, as crazy overpowered as it is. I think it's very cool to see that, and I think where he is now, I feel more comfortable with him having these powers, because especially that scene where he's in the bar and he's with Sylvie and he's just like Sylvie's pushing him more and more to get to the truth of what he is trying to achieve, because she admits that she's selfish and he's not really admitting that. He's like, oh, I want to save everyone, save the TVA, all that stuff, but no, I just want my friends back. And he has that tear. I had the tear coming down. He had the tear coming down his eye, and he's just talking about how he doesn't
You
want
said
to
you
be
cried
lonely.
once in this episode. It was with Owen Wilson. Now you cried another time. You're bullshit.
It was his other eye. It was one
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the other eye, yeah.
Oh, shit.
at different
So-
times of the episode.
I'm gonna cry again.
Oh, shit, I'm gonna cry.
Just a fantastic sequence right there. Holy shit. And it was kind of funny too. They were just picking things to be stringing into pasta, like Sylvie's McDonald's bag, and then just other miscellaneous little things were just kind of disappearing. I thought it was kind of peculiar.
But then everything did disappear
At
eventually.
first,
Everything
I
did
was
disappear,
hoping.
but okay.
At first, I was hoping that it was going to be like very subtle, like you don't like only the viewers kind of noticing it, and then you're having this like slow realization. It's like, oh, this branch in the timeline is just, it's so limited. Meanwhile, Sylvie just wants to live there, and then right away she's just like, where the fuck my McDonald's go? And then Loki's there. It's like, oh, okay, well. I guess she didn't really clue in right away though that like maybe she should have, and maybe that is because she didn't see it happen. She just thought, I don't know, maybe a crow flew down. Grabbed
I think they
McDonald's.
did that with the. I really liked the scene of when they. One, it's a shot, right? It's the shit.
It's a shot of what? What do you
Okay,
see?
I don't care. I don't care. I'll call it what is it? Artaeus multi-woke versus boring. What? Okay, I'm guessing. Let me just guess for a second that you probably think the multi-woke verse has been happening for a while. I don't think you watched Loki season 5 and was like, or fuck,
Season
Loki
5. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that on it.
You tell him, Blue. You tell
He's
him.
not gonna make it. Like, I don't think you watched this episode. I'm like, oh, MCU's woke. Why are you watching it? If you are
He hasn't
watching it,
seen the
it's
episode
woke.
yet. He hasn't seen
And
the
if you
episode
haven't
yet.
seen it, why are you in this chat? Like, go do things with your life. Why are you sitting here being like anti woke versus boring? Who cares? Go do something. Why you even the 10 seconds it wasted for you to type that in this chat, who we've never interacted with you all, don't even know you. It doesn't even like you're gonna be. It's like you make the time slot. We're not even gonna be thinking of you in 5 minutes, and this is how you spent your time. I'll leave that comment there just because it's an embarrassment. We should leave that up all day. I'm gonna put that
No,
on
get
24
that out
hour
of here. I
stream.
don't wanna see
God
that.
damn.
Get that out of there.
Anyways, I really like the scene when she was in the record player shop and the angle of it started on her and then it turned. It almost looked like she was standing up, but she wasn't. I think that one they did it subtly because I liked when someone walked through the door and they disappeared, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why did this person just disappear and then the bell disappears and all this stuff? So I think that was good. I liked that she didn't realize it right away, and then the poor record player guy just like, and he gone and stuff. So I liked the slow pacing of the record player shop of that getting torn apart and the way the water was going, like very artsy, really good stuff. So,
Visually, yeah, it looked
Yeah.
phenomenal. They did not miss a beat on any of that spaghettification. Since that's happened though, and like we've seen Loki already save individuals that have been spaghettified. Are you still super confident that Victor Timely isn't making it out of the season, Travis?
Oh, it's tough now because with Loki being able to have this power, are we gonna get a 10-minute montage next week of them just doing have you guys seen The Edge of Tomorrow or Day of Tomorrow, whatever they changed the title to a million times? Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's when they keep going over and doing when they keep doing the
Oh yeah,
over and over
Same
and
day,
over
right?
again.
It's like an
Yeah,
alien
so
invasion. Okay.
that's why I wonder is are they going to do that next week where it's just going to be Loki and the team doing the mission over and over? So no, I really don't know about Timely because I feel like it'd be odd for Timely for us to lose him in episode 4 and then Loki find a way to help him but then lose him again. Like it just feels like I guess we lost everybody, right? But what was strange though is we lost everybody. I guess he just didn't have a friendship with Timely. I was gonna say why didn't we see Timely, but I guess because they weren't friends. That's why he wasn't seeing Timely.
He wasn't in the room present to and exploded, right?
He was he was outside when he got spaghetti.
But like,
died
I don't think that'd be a factor for Loki's like temporal ability, right? Because he's already interacted with him multiple times. He could technically go back and see He Who Remains, couldn't he? Or is that just
Yeah, I think so because
beside the point?
he has a connection with Sylvie, right?
Yeah, so he could go back to that very same moment and stop Sylvie from stabbing him.
And he
technically.
did say, Blue brought this up where they did say, you can clarify if you're he, she, or they, so or you don't have to. That's a personal question, I guess. But I'm just
be a
saying,
color. You can be a
if I'm
color.
just saying, yeah, Blue said, are you the raptor from Jurassic World or that one? Loki at the episode says, I can write the story. So that's the thing. Like, I don't know if he goes back to He Who Remains, or I wonder if they do go back there. He lets Sylvie kill him, but then Loki just takes the seat right away of okay, I'm going to let you do this because we can do it our way. At the end of the day, it's tough because that Sylvie wouldn't have the knowledge of what happened, right? So she'd kind of be like, well, no, this doesn't fix anything. Like, I don't want you there. So I feel like kind of like what Dylan was worried about last week, we do, and I agreed with him if they went this route. I think we do need these characters somewhat to have what they've learned this season, right? Same thing is even on a rewatch. We don't want Sylvie. We don't want to watch a show where Sylvie for 5 episodes had development, and then in season 6 they reset her to season, or fuck, I keep doing that. In episode 6 they reset her to season 1 because then it's like, well, I get there's a point to Loki where the rest of them are just kind of there. Yeah, they're just kind of fodder for him to move along, right? I know they could say, oh, that's his sacrifices. He loses his friends. But so I really don't know what's going to happen. But as we said, though, Sylvie, she got kicked through this and she still had all her memory. So maybe there's a way he can do this by keeping their memory. That's why I want more clarification on why, I guess, other than her maybe temp-padding out of there. If she didn't, why did she get zapped and still remember everything? So I want some clarification there. But I would take it that he could go back. Like he could go anywhere as long as he could. He could go to that fucking island from Thor Ragnarok
He wants to go back
Look
to
at it.
New York.
Look at
wants to
it.
change it.
Oh man, they would not do that. But
He
imagine,
wins. He actually takes over New York. He's like, let's do this right this time.
imagine midway in that episode, he just goes back to New York, and oh my goodness. So, yeah, jeez. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting what's going to happen next week. It is tough. It's like the Gaia thing where it is a big thing that they've introduced that. It's tough. They got to be careful with it, right? Because if you do have a character that can just time travel willy-nilly, how does he not go back and try to fix things all the time? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's why I was just so hype on it, is I didn't really care for those answers in the moment. It's just like a magician doing a wild trick in front of me. It's like, holy crap, like this is insane. And then you start to think about the logistics of how it's actually happening, and that's where it gets a little bit messy. But I just loved how I just loved how it ended, and also kind of from the perspective of like down the stairs where Timely was, because you don't see him leaving. It's just like that's where he technically was going, so that's why Obi and Loki are looking in that direction. But like technically Loki was looking in that direction before Timely was even there, right? Because he volunteered, walked over to the stairs, and then that's when Timely said, no, I should be the one that does it. So we don't really know specifically what point in time that is.
Yeah, or is it just gonna be a simple thing that he can somehow use this to like fix the loon? Like he can, because like if he could get split, but then like come back and redo it or something like that every time. Like it could just be something easy as that, where I can bypass this portal because I can just go in and out, whatever it may be. We might be overthinking it. And I think there's definitely gonna be like no New York Avengers stuff like that. I think they will save that for the movie, but I think that's how they'll explain this. How's Loki get back here? Well, he wasn't resurrected. He just traveled through time to get here. and that's what's gonna happen. I would like it if we got to see a Thor in the show, but I don't think we're.
Well, we got
Matt
Frog
Damon.
Thor.
Matt Damon.
I meant this season, but yeah, Matt Damon was Loki. Kirkland, remember?
Oh,
Luke
gosh,
Hemsworth
yes.
was
Luke
Thor.
Hemsworth. There you go.
Gotta
Thank
get
you.
Luke back, but
Sure,
yeah,
he's not busy.
yeah, not at all. But anything else on the power?
I still have like many
thoughts?
questions, but I don't really
Yes.
even know what questions I have about it. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next week.
Let's take our second ad break, and then we'll be right back. And we're back. So we got to see, we're wondering, hey, what's going to happen with these characters? Where are they going? Well, Loki, open up with him in the TVA. Everyone's gone. It's all quiet. What's going on? He starts the time split, and as we jump to the end, but what they've set up was all the characters were back in the regular world. B-15 was our hunt. Is this B-15? Yeah, B-15. Or is it X-15? Now
You're talking about Brad?
No. Who's
Brad's
Brad now?
X5. B15 is
B15,
the
thank
doctor
you.
lady.
Yes. So she went back to her life. She's a doctor. We went back to his life. He is a scientist / trying to be a writer. We get where Mobius went back, who had a different name. What was it, Ron or something like that?
Dawn.
Dawn. There you go. Close
D-O-N.
enough. And of course, what's he doing? He's at a sporting goods store selling jet skis and everything. So
Pushing
yeah.
people that want to get dirt bikes for an ATV.
Yeah.
Completely different.
He
type of
insulted
vehicle.
him too. He's like, "Oh, the smart man, they call it the smart man's road bike," and the guy said that he just wanted a motorbike. So he's just saying the guy's dumb for not picking a jet ski. So I liked some of this stuff. I agree that we talked about in the Discord that it's not all needed, but I enjoyed seeing them there. I will say though, I want to see Mobius in this timeline as Mobius. I wasn't as hyped to see a variant of him there because it's like, well, he has no memory. I want the Mobius that was like, oh, I really want to ride a jet ski, so or that seems really cool. So I like this stuff. I think it was more just needed it was good for Loki to react, but I think you could, cut a little down of it, but there were some fun interactions. So it was enjoyable, I'll say.
I imagine that because we don't know if these are the original characters, correct? Like if they were just sent back to these points in time, or
Well, these were
Loki's
branches, right?
Yeah, so they're just variants, right?
Yeah, they're all
'Cause I
variants.
imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I imagine Loki he doesn't really need to use them anymore, does he? Or did he?
No,
he
I
did.
think
He
they're
got
going
the
back.
coordinate. He got the coordinates when he was in the room with them because he jumped back when they were all still alive. He figured out, I'm assuming he was able to tap into their temporal aura, and then he was able to time slip back to the place he needed to be, right? And I guess that's the other thing that kind of caps up just what we talked about earlier, his powers. He can't really go anywhere he wants to in time on control. He needs the coordinates, I guess you'd have to say, right? So he needs to have a way to get there, like someone's temporal aura, so to speak.
And this tracks for, I think, when we talked about when I never had a problem with it. It was something that got brought up in our Endgame review. But when we talked about characters going back to different multiverses and stuff, that's because even though it's time travel, multiverse is still kind of the same thing. Loki's almost that conduit who could be the person that could go pick up a Hugh Jackman Wolverine, or I would kind of. Well, no, he has to have connections, right? Or I guess he has to have that's the thing. Does he only have a connection to his Thor, or could it just be any Thor in any timeline branch? I'd assume so, right? Because he got brought to these people's branches, so it could just be any Thor anywhere. So if there's a Thor in the X-Men Fox universe, that's where we can go and just pick up these X people,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But my question was what you said, Taylor, when he said they has to get their aura. So are those people that he brought there, are they just now in a room by themselves just waiting for Loki to get back?
They would most likely be there because he just time slipped out of there. So yeah, he just left them there.
We get to phase 7, he's completely forgot about them, and just Mobius still waiting to see his sons, everything.
Just one
and
of
it's
my
like,
friends.
where are they? Loki comes back, they're just skeletons. Forgot about them. But maybe I'm going to headcanon that they'd figure their way out of there. Because I don't think they're off. Well, they're all from
Well,
different
even if
time
it-
periods, right?
Yeah,
So-
decades at least.
Yeah.
Like Alcatraz. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So
Interesting. That'll do it.
It's just talking about the crew that was there and Casey and I
Frank.
really fucking bought into this. Yeah, Frank. When they were wondering where the tempad was that Obi built, and I thought, oh my god, are we gonna get the back half of this and the finale them just trying to track down Casey and get this tempad back? I didn't want to do that.
It wouldn't
So
have
I'm
made
so glad
sense
that-
why he would have still been there though if he had the 10
I know,
pad.
I know. So I was glad that he was there, and that wasn't the case. Another thing I want to shout out too was just when Obi It was with minutes for us when Loki was talking to Mobius, trying to convince like Mobius to kind of like come on board or just whatever. He's trying to sell the jet skis to Loki, and all of a sudden the temp pad door opens up and out walks Obi. It's like, oh, that was quick. And Obi's like, oh, 18 months. You know, I lost my job. My wife left me. It's like, fuck.
Even just like the shock of him being there that fast and just like walks through with this giant like fucking computer.
His like Yu-Gi-Oh like
he had his wrist guard on.
His wrist, yeah.
His fuck do 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 do. He spent 18 months doing something completely different. I guess he made the portal though. It worked out. It was glitchy a little bit, but yeah, he definitely did a good job. And I'm glad he didn't lose like the Obiisms, even though he was a completely different version of himself. They did such a good job at just making it like a I guess a parallel of what our Obi is. Like this other character, I forget his name. It's like he had 2 letters and then an actual name. I forget what Obi's other name was. But anyways, he was still very, very intelligent. Like he just was like totally catching on to everything that Loki was saying and like using the right terminology with the time slipping. And it felt so believable. I feel like they could do that in a way that it's like, well, this is obviously just the same person. Like it doesn't feel like 2 different individuals, but just because just because of Obi's like charisma that he's had, and just to parallel that over to this other variant of himself, they just did such a good job at like, this is the human version of Obi, where he is just still super like going 100 miles a minute just with his own ideas and just catching on to things when he's testing Loki, doing some science. He's got his taser, hits him in the back. He's just like flipping out in front of him, trying to activate his flight or fight. My gosh, the double Fs. So I just loved specifically, like Mobius was fun to see here with the jet skis and everything, but I feel like Obi again was just such the highlight of Loki's visits, and really Loki's mission would have been a complete dud if he wasn't able to help him out the way he did. So it was nice that he was still very scientific as well as big into the sci-fi with the Sons of Voron. And which that's got to be like Loki, Thor, right? that's what I kind of headcanon it as. Maybe. Just that story of the Sons of Voron, just something completely parallel.
It's all a fluke too. If Loki didn't grab that, what was it called? The TVA handbook.
TVA handbook, yeah.
That would have been, he would have been over and toast right then and there. That scene too, I really for a second thought when Loki was walking into that room and you see the figure standing out in the distance, I thought it was timely, and I was like, what the hell are we getting into? Like, did he just take over the TVA? But it was not. It was Loki, and I like how it kind of followed up really, really quickly. It was just peculiar.
That was a really awesome scene. I always love that in movies or shows when they're able to. I mean, it's kind of like that Interstellar moment, right? When he like goes back to a different timeline, like seeing himself at the end. So I love the way that was shot too, because the silhouette, like I kind of figured it was Loki, but they made it blurry enough that that I couldn't completely tell if it was Loki for sure. And it was kind of eerie with just how like dark and freaky everything was happening, and then he just goes through the same motions, and it's not like it was filmed from the same angle that it's like, okay, this is very clearly him now. Like it is the different angle, and then when he says hello, and then it was a really, really well crafted shot. And I love the opening too, of just how it completely picks up from how last week ended.
I'm trying to think. We talked about Sylvie. We talked about lost her timeline, so that sucks. Talked about how did you guys feel about seeing Mobius in the jet ski world and seeing him in his element and stuff? Like I said, were you like me that it was still fun, but you wanted to see our Mobius? Did you get a kick out of it? I guess we learned that he has 2 sons and that his wife has passed on.
Well, in this branch, right?
In this
like
branch,
that's not actually the sacred timeline. So maybe he's got no kids. 5 wives, like who knows? the golden timeline or the sacred timeline is for Mobius. But I was kind of, I don't even want to say let down. It's just it didn't hit as hard for me, and I think it is basically just because it wasn't Mobius really. It was Dawn, and it wasn't him just finally getting this thing that he's always wanted. It's just greasy salesman making fun of people for wanting a road bike. Or a dirt bike, whatever the hell he wanted, and stealing his donuts. But he still had, like again, kind of like what I was saying with the Obi-isms. Like he still had those Mobius just quick charming of things, but maybe that's just Owen Wilson being Owen Wilson and fun to watch. I did like when he was kind of sketched out by Loki, just like, you follow me home, but like he's still just a salesman. He's like
Gonna show
selling
you
him
something.
jet skis in his fucking garage. Like that was cracking me up for sure. But the whole jet ski reveal, especially with just how much we've been building towards it, like was that episode 1 of Loki when we first find out, or was it like maybe episode 2, very early on in the first season?
First 3, I'll say at least.
Yeah. So yeah, he got his jet ski, and he wasn't actually even on the water. Really,
No.
I mean,
So I wonder if they're saving that, right? Maybe that's the
Yeah.
big save for that. They'll wait till they'll wait till Secret Wars when almost gets to, drive up.
the secret Wars.
There'll be a water
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah.
Fuck it, like they
like
did
that scene from
portals.
Black
it's all
Panther.
water.
Black
I was
Panther
gonna say
2.
the scene from fucking Avatar 2, Way of Water. Just doing some fucking whaling.
Got reeled in hard after this turn. All right, you ready? Oh, fucking what a stupid ass scene.
Oh,
what
yeah.
a fucking
Like,
dumb.
felt like
dumb
20-minute
scene.
long
Oh my
scene.
god.
Oh, I love that movie though.
Jesus. Yeah.
Um,
That's it for me. I don't have anything else to like.
yeah.
Think it was pretty. I think we've covered everything. I think not that was pretty basic, but I feel like there are elements where it is just more. You're in the moment. You're seeing. It's all about. And what I will say to cap off my thoughts are, and it feels dumb because we've been talking about this since the start of the podcast. We'll talk about this at the end, but Tom Hiddleston's just fucking amazing. Like this whole episode he carries when everyone does go away. It's not this big over dramatic, oh my god, no. It's just like the subtlety acting, the subtleties in his face. When he does cry, when he does one tear like Taylor, when he doesn't do one tear, etc. He's just the bee's knees. So it's just like, again, the writing is better in this show than most other MCU shows, but Tom Hiddleston is just like, he can make chicken shit out of chicken salad, or other way around. Chicken salad, chicken shit. but
Yeah,
like-
chicken
God.
shit.
I could make
That's
chicken
what he's
shit out of a
making.
chicken salad for you, Travis. Give me
That's a
some
bad
time.
actor. That's Jared Leto. Jared Leto's making chicken shit out of chicken salad. But no, Tom Hiddleston, he was a highlight for me. And that's the one thing I'll take away as well. It's just like this whole thing. He has to guide you, and I think he does a great job of that. So,
Yeah, he's A1 steak sauce, that guy.
oh, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, doubling up on what you said earlier, Travis, on the Sylvie Loki interaction. Again, another one that I don't want to say I was disappointed on is just it didn't hit as much as I would have expected because I knew that moment was coming. Obviously, he's collecting his Avengers, essentially his crew, and then the last one on the list is Sylvie, and we know it's going to be a big emotional moment. But even just them chatting in the bar, I was hoping for some more, especially that she has all of her memories. Like she still has all of the memories of her interactions with Loki already, the emotion that she feels about him, whether it's positive or negative. I was hoping for just, especially building up on last week's episode, like that was just such a really I don't know, just amazing scene between the two of them. There was great tension, and I was hoping for just more of that level. But this is also, and again, it might be something that I kind of like change my tune on in the future, because it is also kind of like I don't even want to call it like an end of the world moment, but Sylvie's just like, she's in the bar drinking her bourbon, and it's just like, yeah, this is life now. Like the TVA lost, and like, let's just live our lives. It's not like, let's run off together in the sunset. Like, it's just, yeah, like it sucks, but this is the way it is right now. And
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping she was gonna give him. I know someone will go like, "Oh, I don't want the female to do like." I don't care. I was kind of hoping she was gonna give him the like, we could just stay here and even have a life. I was kind of wanting. I don't even care. Like, you can't have Loki do it because he's wanting to do a mission. But I was a little lacking there, that I would have liked some more on their history. So
I'm curious too if that's how like maybe that's just a decision overall for the season, because we've already commented of just how much their relationship has, it's just not what it was in that first season, and maybe that's just because they've switched showrunners now and they just really don't want to go in that direction, which I mean, it's bittersweet. I am loving this season, but I also really, really loved all those moments between the two. So if we never get that again, I think I will be longing for, I will be missing those Sylvie Loki moments, but who knows if it is just glorious, if it's the glorious purpose that we're going towards. It's I guess it's the way it's got to be.
yeah. Taylor, any thoughts?
Just the sheer level of terror, especially in that music store, just how things are just slowly going away. And it's different. Like, it's different when you're being blipped, because obviously being blipped is still very terrifying, but this is everything.
Speaking from experience?
This is speaking from experience. Yeah. When you just see, I mean, everything is just disappearing. It's time itself. It's a whole branch of time. It's just absolutely terrifying. And so that final scene when Sylvie was just going to activate her temp pad and go through her door, everything just nothingness, really just freaky. A very freaky concept. But also had me thinking too, like as things were like slowly one at a time disappearing, like her burger, and then other things are like one at a time just disappearing. Could you imagine if you are engaged in relations with someone and like what happens if like, your condom just disappears?
That's the only
Well,
thing that I'm sure people
no.
have made that comment before. Oh, I got blipped away. I don't know what happened.
I don't think just like your condom would disappear, not the rest of your body.
10
But
minutes
her food,
later.
her food did though. It was Sylvie's food on the truck, and nothing else did around her.
But okay, difference is still
Spaghettiification just goes for latex. I don't know what happened.
in the middle of this argument. It doesn't matter because like eventually her whole timeline went away, right? So it's like everything's gonna go away eventually. Yeah, eventually.
All the rubbers went first, though. There's mass hysteria.
We want people raw
Global
dogging that to go out.
shortage on condoms.
Please. Megan Smith from high school just said I could bone her. I've been waiting 20 years, but she said I need a condom. And you're telling me there's no... Oh, they just disappeared. What do you mean they disappeared?
You know, you're in a branch timeline, I guess, if that happens.
Yeah.
Branch timeline. I'd love to see a what if episode of no,
Jenny
this is
Smith.
different.
All the condoms
This is different.
disappeared.
This is different.
Keeps going on.
Yeah, let's circle back.
Let's circle back. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of with the brother.
Oh, right. I got to bring this up on the stream.
Yeah, let's circle back.
Yeah, what was the
remember
right?
what
The question was, would you rather have sex with yourself or with your brother / sister? Everyone unanimously, oh, yourself, Taylor. Oh, your brother for sure. Just no
Let's
thought.
circle back
Put
to
into-
this.
Reminder. I gotta put that in my notes. I gotta ask everybody in the 24-hour stream about what we'll put up a poll. God damn.
But yeah, the what if scenario of just where Thanos has almost got his Infinity Stones and he wants to do his plan, but then all of a sudden you just see things going spaghettiized and him just like, what's going on? Like, this isn't perfectly balanced. Like, just something just really derailed him.
Reality is what I make it. Whatever his line is.
No, his line is I use the stones to destroy the stones. I don't know what he'd do. He'd probably just be shocked, and there's not what he could just feel. But I don't know. Couldn't he, with the time stone? Couldn't you stop that? I don't know.
See,
It's
that's
tough,
what's
right?
yeah. I don't really know. Like, is Loki's power as intense as it seems, or is it just because it's
With the time stone, you could go back, and you're only in your branch of timeline, but you could use that to go back. But no matter what, that moment in the future would always still be spaghettiized until Loki, out of time, fixes it, right?
I think if that was the case, if I was Thanos and he couldn't fix it, I would just keep going back 30 years and just keep living it up. And then right when you're about to get spaghettified,
find
go
Jenny
back
Smith.
again. Yeah, fine. It was Megan Smith, by the way. Not
Oh,
Jenny
I
Smith.
heard
She's in
Jenny.
prison now. Yeah, she's in prison. I guess I would just keep going back and living my life, you know? Or you could just keep going back trying to find out what it is to stop it, right?
Yeah,
So-
goes back to the soup, keeps eating that soup.
I will say one thing. I'm someone that's a fan of the multiverse concept. I like it. We are in an unfortunate situation where almost all these big franchises are doing it, so I get why people are sick of it. I will say between this and the TVA's time travel and Loki's power, the time stone, whatever, I do think it is smart after Secret Wars that if they leave the time travel concept alone for quite a while, because we did an Endgame. I think now there's so many different concepts and ways. Cause yeah, the same thing like the time stone versus the time splitting versus what Loki has. It's like, where does it all go? They've changed. I know they said, oh, the TVA something happened, but it's like they've changed how time travel works. I think after Secret Wars, it would be best that we get a solid phase of just superheroes versus the bad guys. No.
I just feel like there's so many
shenanigans.
characters that have been introduced that like deal with those sort of things that it's kind of hard to pack
Kill
those
'em.
worms back
Wipe
in.
them all, right?
Do you
If you
have
do
to do
what-
that, or could
Yeah.
you just do like a phase talking about this section of heroes? The other ones are just kind of in a la la land, and then maybe in.
Well, yeah, you could do that too. Where I think if they do a reboot, it's a soft reboot. I think they will do like the comics where we'll end up again. It's so funny. I think that's why Loki is the good guy saying they should do this. You know, the idea of, we don't want one sacred timeline, but I think the idea is we will get like one sacred timeline after Secret Wars, and that's why it will be a slight reboot. And I think that's where you'd be like, the characters that could do these things are kind of shelved for now. We can't do anything with them.
They're
so.
following the Mortal Kombat route.
Yeah,
Or
do
just
that.
restart the timeline. Yeah.
And that's what they did in comics. There was the Ultimate Universe and the Marvel Universe, and that's how Miles and Peter got together. Was in Miles' universe, like the original movie, Peter died, and then Miles went on. When they did Secret Wars, the second Secret Wars, that was to get Peter and Miles in the same universe without Peter dying. So they have done this in comics, and I think that's the route they're going to go now. And I think if they go that route, just give time travel multiverse a rest for a little bit. Because, like, honestly, if we get what these rumors are saying, if we get Secret Wars of Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman leading the movies, you can't top that. We don't need any more multiverse after that. That is the peak multiverse of multiverses. You know,
in
so
our
it's like
timeline at least.
yeah, in our time. Yeah, wait 20 years for when our kids or people grow up. And, I'd fucking love to see
Jenny Smith. She's
yeah,
so
Jenny
good.
Smith and Megan Smith. They never get to, but like, I guess they're not going to have that issue though, right? Because other than Spider-Man, Marvel's going to own everything, so they're not going to have the issue like us where it's like, oh, we couldn't see Toby and Hugh Jackman
that's true.
interact. So they're not going to have that. Oh, I'd love to see. They're going to get whoever they want to see interact. You know, so that's where I think like once you do Secret Wars, and if you get Toby, Andrew, Hugh Jackman, you bring back Downey, you get Loki, bring back Evans. It's just like that is the ultimate. I think that's the cap of start with multiverse stuff. So. What's so
Just think
funny?
about Megan. I'm just you're naming
Megan
all these
Smith?
names. I was just waiting for
Oh,
the
man.
Megan Smith. to
She could
drop
sling
in.
it back in the day.
Let's circle back to that rubber thing again. With this
Yeah, and then let's circle back. If you
And
were
the
having sex
brother,
with
yeah.
yourself or your brother, would you wear? You know. Let's see. After the season, Loki will be the one to warn the Avengers King comes to die. Yeah, I think I've been saying that for. I'm not going to
Too
sound
long.
arrogant, but like years. I've just been calling that one for years. If Chris called the He Remains, I said that Loki would be the new Hulk to say, hey, this is. It just makes sense now. Like I said, I hope that means he should be on the team and not just like a warning and go. Like I feel like, you know, if they're looking at main people to be on the Avengers, maybe put Moon Knight aside, put some other people aside. Tom Hiddleston's Loki that's who should be at least get a slot there. You know,
one of the
So-
bigger heads on the poster
Absolutely, his head should be floating all over that spot. You know, so
with the Watcher behind him.
yeah. Taylor, make that out right now.
Yeah.
Make a Secret Wars poster, just Loki, Megan Smith, and the Watcher, and go from there. So.
And the rubber.
Oh, we got
And the
this
rubber.
one. We got that one.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else, boys?
No.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back. I guess I should have said at the beginning of this episode, there will be a Loki finale review. We're hoping to actually pull off. We're looking like it might work out. That's why I was talking to Taylor about Kirk and come over. We might be able to pull off doing. What the fuck is that?
I feel like I'm in a spa.
Oh, I'm
It's happening. Yeah.
Megan!
The rubber's coming off.
Why am I getting this music for the ending of this?
I don't know. What do you want? You want a little bit of you want a little of this?
It's just porn sounds. It's like those videos, like, oh, you won't believe this sound. And, like, turn up the audio, and it's like,
I hate those so much.
They must have
oh
gotten
yeah,
you multiple
that
times.
video. It's always the fucking girl too. Oh yeah. It's always that fucking girl screaming in my eardrums.
It's the same
But-
girl.
Yeah, it
Same
is.
girl,
Megan
different words.
Smith. It's Megan
It's always
Smith.
Megan Smith.
Uh,
Fuck Megan. I'm trying to do
That's
a
what you do.
casting.
Next week, we're looking like we might be able to pull off the Marvels and Loki finale review on the same night. So I think that's going to be really exciting if we can do that. It's going to be late night, but I think both those will be there for Friday feed. Either way, within 48 hours, you will get them. Let's get the fuck out of here because I hate podcasts with music.
Feeding the ducks. Feeding the ducks, man. This is fun.
Feeding the rubbers. All right, we'll be back next week. See ya.